Jennifer Correa, weather lady.
Yeah.
Water bottles in the way.
She can't be going much longer.
No.
No.
There we go.
Coach, I noticed, I guess I'll just choose right now. Having the coordinators and the full staff, the first time we've had the 2 back-to-back coordinators since.
Oh yeah, since 2016.
Yeah.
Actually 2015.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what that continuity of coaches does for the players and the?
Oh wow, I mean it's just night and day. What a benefit to have everybody back, other than Corey on our side of the ball. But you know, with everyone coming back, they all know what to expect from me. I know what to expect from them. I know how they're going to respond to things. They know how I'm going to respond to things. They know what we want to get done schematically. The language has already been set. We don't have to spend 6 months trying to figure each other out and feel each other out. And then Charlie and I on our sides of the ball, we know what to expect from the other side and how to work with them and what they need, what we need. I mean, you know, the level of growth has been really, really fun to watch this off season. So, you know, we got 13 more practices and then the summer and then fall camp, but obviously cautiously optimistic that we're heading in the right direction and a big part of that is them hearing the same message for the first time in 9 years, 8 coordinators in 8 years. You know, the players know what to do really. I mean, it's all review now instead of teaching from day one and making all kinds of mistakes and trying to figure it out. So it's a huge difference.
And critical when you have 34 new guys.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that have been here can help indoctrinate them into the culture of how we practice, what the expectation is on every play, you know, finishing on every play, chinning the football, all the little things that, you know, we had to instill for the first year that we were here. Those older guys are now helping the guys that have come in the door learn those things before we even have to talk to them about it. So it's been, man, this feeling with this group has been really, really special. So very excited about it.
And then if you can comment on the 2 guys who are coming in today, Jackson Ambush and Latrell Jean.
Yeah, Jackson, you know, obviously he's the heartbeat of our defense. He's the leader of our defense. He's the guy that sets the front, makes sure all the blitzes are on the same page, coverages are right. You know, he's kind of the center. You know, you got to be like in baseball. You got to have a good catcher, a good second baseman, a shortstop, a good center fielder, and that's what I gave birth to. But you have to be strong up the middle. Well, we have to have a strong presence in the middle to make sure everybody else is on the same page. And Jackson, this is his 5th year doing it. He's an older guy. He's a grown up. Man, I can't say enough about him. Don't let him hear that though. I don't want him to see that.
It's okay. Just walk in.
Good. He didn't hear it. And then Latrell is kind of our spirit, right? Latrell's got he talks. He's got personality. He's trying to rally the troops together. You know, I think without Evan being here, he may feel like he can do more of that. He feels like it's his group up front now, and he's been a pleasure to be around for the last year plus, and really cool to see him grow into a leadership type role.
Coach, the defense made a lot of progress last year, especially with defending the run and in a lot of other areas. What are some things that you want the defense to improve on with spring camp?
Well, okay, so we won 4 games, so the improvement was nice. I don't want to downplay the improvement that we had made from the year before to this past season, but we won 4 games, so we've got to be even better. Okay, we need to tackle better. We need to get more takeaways. We had 18 takeaways, one or two less than the year before. We need to have 30 this year. We need to get more takeaways, more possessions for our offense. I want to see that happen in spring ball, and it happened today, so that was good to see. And then what was the other one? Just getting our eyes in the right place. We had too many freelancers last year that, you know, their eyes would wander away from their key, and their key would be running one way, and they're staring there thinking the quarterback's going to throw them the ball. And you know, if we can get our eyes right and play with maximum effort, knowing that we know what to do now, and be in the right spot and get some takeaways, we're going to be really good on defense. So those are the things I'm really looking to see us do this spring, those 4 things.
Your secondary looks drastically different. You look like you're bigger, longer. How do you think that's going to help do some of the things that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's you know, we love the guys that were here last year, but the guys that we brought in, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, they're more athletic. They look more like what I'm used to seeing at other places, and even this place from the last time I was here. And they work hard. They want to be coached, which is really refreshing. They're begging for more coaching. They want to know what they're doing wrong. They're taking pride in their job. So, I mean, I I think we got a chance to be pretty good in the back end. Good leadership from Brandon Gibson too, and Jordan Helm.
What are your thoughts on the linebacker group?
I hate those guys with a passion. Ambush is in here now, so I can't. No, you know, we've got some really, really good players in my room. The challenge is going to be finding enough playing time to keep them all happy, right? We got obviously Jackson coming back, and Gerald's coming back. Zaire Horton's coming into his own a little bit at Mike linebacker. You got Justice Cross that can play both positions at will. We have Eddie and Dez who both played a ton of football. You got Sharquez Lee who's coming in, you know, from high school early, and he's going to be a really, really good football player here. So we've got a lot of really good players in that room. They're fun to be around. They want to be coached. They know what they're going to expect from me every day. I know what I'm going to get from them, so it's been a real pleasure.
How have Charquez and Jarvis adjusted to their new surroundings?
Jarvis won't be here till the summer, but Charquez is he's fitting in really well. He's got a great personality. He kind of knows where he's at. He knows he's got a long way to go. Him and Eddie being from the same high school, they have a little bond, and Eddie's all over him like a mean big brother, and I love that. But he's probably a little further ahead than I thought he would have been coming into it, because you never know what to expect when the guy's a freshman and how fast he's going to pick up things. But he's got a bright future here, man. He's going to be a really good player.
What's the biggest difference that you see from this spring compared to last spring when you had to
Well, you know, only being two practices in, I think it's hard to say, but to this point, I think the standard is getting closer to being matched in terms of effort, accountability, lining up, trying to do my job right. You know, all those little things that don't show up on a stat sheet will lead to better things on stat sheets. Just the overall feel and atmosphere of the program is a totally different deal. It's really refreshing, and it's really fun to be around.
Thanks, Roc.
I wanted to wait till the very end. So, who are the guys that you would really like to see take the most steps forward?
Oh, wow. I mean, there's a bunch of them. I'll start on the D-line. You know, well, we got the new guys, Kyler Lang and Chisholm, want to see what they can do. Prince, James Boyd, want to see what he can do. I'd really like to see, maybe there's a lot of questions about guys. Are they going to take the next step to be a solid starter? You know, Latrell has been in and out of the lineup. Is he going to take the next step to be a solid starter? Is Jaden Wheeler going to take the next step to be a solid starter? What's going to happen on the outside with the competition we have with those guys? And we have more guys coming in the summer at that spot. At linebacker, you know, is Jackson Ambush going to take the next step to be a pro prospect, or is he just going to be an above average football player?
He's in the room.
Yeah. You know, with Eddie and Dez, you know, who's going to really take the lead in that spot? In the secondary, we got a bunch of new guys in, you know, want to see what they can do, but, you know, is Day Hill going to be a guy that's going to be taking the next step to be a consistent producer for us? You know, McClendon, you know, 30 coming back, you know, Adams off his injury. You know, what's he going to be like? And Wansley, is he going to take the next step? So, I mean, I can name them all. They all have question marks. Nobody's arrived. You know, there ain't any scouts coming here to watch these guys just yet. You know, we hope we can get them there, but they've all got question marks. We want to see them all improve.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Roc.
Okay, yep, no problem.
Thanks, Coach.
I asked Coach Roc.
Yeah.
This is the first time since 15, 16 that we've had back the coordinators return.
Really?
Can you talk a little bit about the continuity that brings for you guys, both in your meeting rooms as coaches and on the field with the players?
Yeah, I think that's for the guys that are returning, it's huge. You know, obviously the guys that are coming in, it's going to be new to them anyways, but you see the guys make the biggest leaps in the National Football League from year 1 to year 2, and a lot of that has to do with, you know, having the same playbook for the second year. You know, my first 3 years in the NFL, I had 3 different playbooks, and I understand how hard that is as a player. You know, just always having to start over, always having to go through OTAs, spring ball, constantly learning and never being able to take the next step. You know, so I think that's a big deal. You'll see a lot of growth from the guys that are coming back, and a lot of that will be the continuity of what we're doing schematically.
A lot of the focus this camp always is going to be on the quarterbacks, and we see you have a good battle with the guys both returning and new there.
Anything new?
No, you have a lot of competition between both the returners and the new players coming in. What are you seeing from that group?
Guys love to compete. I see like what a quarterback room's supposed to look like, what's supposed to feel like. The guys been, spending time together all winter, working out together, running together, lifting weights, and then they're getting togethers on the weekends. Having dinner together, breaking bread with each other, just getting to know each other. Because listen, the quarterback room, it's like the highway always goes through there, with decisions and just as far as going with the whole unit. So that's always got to be. That's always been very special to me, both as a player and a coach. Is the room makeup, guys pushing each other, but also having their back. Because we understand this is the hardest thing to do in all sports. So we're in this thing together. We're going to help each other out, and you can feel that from the guys in there.
The offense looks a lot more retooled, especially at running back, receivers, and the O-line. What's the main priority? What's the main thing you're looking for out of those positions as you evaluate the talent throughout spring camp?
Yeah, no, I think I said this last year too, but it has to start there. Like the game, the offensive scheme, the game of football is inside out. So it starts with the 5 guys with their hand in the dirt. And then you're saying, okay, running the football, how do we do it? Well, we got to set the edge, right? We got to win at the point of attack, first and foremost. Okay, so point of attack blockers, win point of attack. Okay, what's the second thing? Well, cutoff blocks, right? We got to give the back lanes to run off the backside. So cutoff blockers, got to get them cut off. And then there's always going to be a double team, right? Whether we're going to double in a gap scheme to the -1 backer, or in zone scheme where we're going to double up. So we got to dominate 600 pounds on 300 pounds, right? We got to win on our double teams. And then there's a guy that's always going to have a one-on-one block, right? And how many of those one-on-one blocks can we win? So when you look at how to or how we're trying to run the football, we're looking at those 4 things. And then from the backfield, I think we got a lot of weapons. And the diversity of those weapons. Some of the backs got tree trunks. They're going to try and run you over. Some of the backs got that quick twitch where they're going to try and make you miss. So, a combination of the running back room with the objective of knocking their ass back up front is what we're trying to do in the run game.
Do you, with the running back and receiving units have changed as much as they did throughout this offseason, do you sense a different dynamic compared to last season with those 2 positions?
Yeah, I think that's just, where we're at in college football. It's a lot like free agency in the NFL. There's guys that get re-signed, and there's guys that go against the salary cap, and there's new guys coming in, constantly. So, you got to formulate a plan of getting those guys up to speed, and that's why you have winter OTAs and meetings in the wintertime that you can get guys up to speed so that they can hit the ground running when we get to spring ball. And been very pleased with just their attention to detail, in the first 2 days of their willingness to learn. You can see that guys are hungry and they want to, and now we're going to see what we can do when we put the pads on.
Yeah. Thanks,
Coach. Yep.
Thanks, Coach.
Second spring with this coaching staff, and obviously in a different role, you still are proving yourself, but you don't have as much to prove, built a resume. How much are you trying to work with the new players that are in, or guys that are rising to the next level, prepare for the defense?
The guys that are coming back, like you look at the record before and we all have improvement, from, eye discipline, effort, flying the ball, stuff like that. And the new guys, they're all coachable. Like, they're all taking advice, whatever coach says, there's no talk back no more. It's just, put your head down and go to work. So I really appreciate that from those guys.
Coach, you only have a 1-year history here, but this is the first time in quite a while that it's the same coordinator.
Yeah. Back-to-back
years. How helpful is that to know that it's the same scheme that you played in last year, that what's expected of you and kind of where you're supposed to be?
Honestly, it's just, it's second nature at this point. Like, the call comes in, I already know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's helpful, especially for the guys that have been here, like, Trell and all the rest of these guys. Like, having a new playbook, I mean, you're just learning a whole new language. That's how I describe it. And, you know, it's really easy whenever you can just keep repeating that, you know, that playbook over and over again. And we all appreciate Coach Roc, you know, so, yeah.
We've been touching a lot about the coaching staff staying together, and for you guys being able to see in the future on the horizon, are you guys excited about this year, maybe from years past?
Oh yeah, we're really juiced. I mean, the energy is completely different from when I got here in the summer, even through, you know, fall camp and everything else.
Jackson, you know, after a big season last year for you, with leading the team in tackles, and with Coach Roc having described you as the heart of the defense, how have you embraced that role of being one of the key guys in the defense while mentoring the younger guys of how to do things right under Coach Roc?
It's a lot of weight. I'm gonna be honest, you know, like everything goes through me. You know, I make the wrong call. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all wrong, we're all right. But everything goes through me. You know, it's really important, it's special to me. But to have that, you know, that role as a leader on the defense.
And with that veteran experience at the linebacker group, with you, Desmond, Eddie Williams, Courtney, and everybody else in the who are veterans in that position, how beneficial is that when it comes to you guys helping the younger guys like Charquez and everybody else get used to their position?
There, you know, they come into the room and they see what it's like, and they have no choice but to hop on. You know, hop on board and do what we do. You know, we just lead by example at the end of the day.
And what's the biggest improvement that you're looking to make in your game throughout spring camp?
You know, definitely improving on my tackling, that's for sure. You know, I mean, the most important thing is linebacker, I think. And, you know, working on communication, especially with the back end and the front and the guys, you know, everybody being on board with what's being called.
There's a lot of new faces throughout the team. And depending on their personality, they can bring a different energy. Yeah. Have you sensed that there is a little bit of a different energy with a lot of those new guys?
Yeah, they bring some good juice, you know, especially, you know, when they're tired, like I don't know how to describe. How would you describe it? The new guys. That's Charlie, by the way.
As if we didn't know.
Yeah.
Excited to be cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different. It's a different vibe. You know, the new guys bring. It's something new. You know, the guys that came back, that the coaches wanted to come back. Like Coach Hearn told us, like, you're here for a reason. You know, and just us leading by example, like I said before, and them coming in and the energy they bring. You know, it's something special.
You mentioned Coach Herman. There's a difference between him as well, between the fall and now.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's almost he knows what you guys can do and he knows where to push you. Have you witnessed that out this spring?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, he's excited too. I mean, I can't wait, you know, spring ball, to see what comes throughout spring and then, you know, the fall and see what happens.
All right.
Thanks, Jackson.
Thanks, Jackson.
Yeah.
Armani, old man, but you're right there with him. How is this spring coming along for you, and what's some of the things that you've seen that are different this spring as opposed to your freshman year? Has it slowed down for you?
If anything is, I mean, to me, it feels like as a veteran, as someone who's been on this team a long time, I'm used to the practice habits. I'm used to how it is. So, you know, me feeling like 30, like, you know, 30 is here, 70, I'm in my 6th year. It's like, you know, like we know what to do. We know what the coaches expect. We know what to expect. So it's like we're trying to make sure everybody on the same page, make sure everybody know what our culture is. Because we, like you said, we've been there so long. So it's like we know what the culture is. We know what the culture we're trying to build. And we also know what we want to get to. So, you know, just being that older guy, on the team, and being able to help the people who just got here, or even people who were here last year, to show them the way, to show them where we want to be and where we want to get to.
You know what to expect from the coaching staff, but what can we expect from you?
A big year. A big year, a big spring, a big fall camp, a big season, a big year. That's what we look at for sure.
Latrell, with Evan obviously moving on for his NFL aspirations, what have you done to step up and be that guy to be a key piece in the D-line?
Well, just work on my craft. Just, you know, continue to improve my game, continue to improve what I can work on. I feel like this offseason was really big for me. I feel like I put in the work, I feel like I did what I needed to do. So yeah, like you said, Evan being gone, we lost a piece, but you know, we got another step up, Jaden Wheeler. You know, he's right there with me. So it's like, I've definitely worked on perfecting my craft and just honing into the details, the things that I really need to fix from last season to now.
It looked like everybody was kind of flying around a little bit more from just a little bit that we saw here in spring training. Kind of tell me a little bit about, everybody's morale right now, kind of getting onto the field. Does it seem like there's a little bit more motivation this year from last year?
Oh yeah, it's definitely people are definitely excited to get out there. I mean, it's spring ball, it's football time. The lifting weights and the conditioning is over. This is what you come in for. That's what you prepare for. So the energy level out there is definitely different because we're playing football now. So yeah, it's a lot like that. I like it.
It seems like Coach is opening up more as well. I saw him kind of running around, and he's very loud, obviously, voicing his opinion about what needs to be happening and what you guys need to do to get better. Do you see a difference in him as well in his coaching staff in year two?
Definitely, I feel like he's more in tune to what us. I mean, I feel like he understands us more. He gets it, and he know what he wants, and he know that we can do it. We can do what he wants. So him being more like that, more motivated, more loud, is definitely helping the team for sure. Because we know our head coach is here with us too.
With the new guys coming in, especially some of them to the D line, how would you describe the overall vibes of that group when it comes to forming chemistry with one another throughout spring camp? I
mean, we built that in the off season. We stayed close in the off season. We were always with each other. We were always going to lunch. We were doing things with each other. So I mean, the chemistry started way before spring ball even started. It started once we got back in January. We started building when the new guys came. We started getting closer with them, and then the guys who've been in the group, we always been close. So just adding the new guys in and getting them familiar with us and getting them familiar with our culture. They like we said earlier, they're coachable. They want to be here. So it's like they adapted quick, and it's like everybody's close. The chemistry here is definitely good.
Did you ask the coordinator question?
I did not.
First time in your career here, you've had the same defensive coordinator 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. Is it almost a relief that you don't have to learn a new playbook?
Yes, it's definitely, like Jackson said, like learning a new language. When it's definitely better for us because we're familiar with the defense. So it's like we know what to do now. We know how to hit things differently. We know how to hit things. Our coach wants us to execute things. We know how to play within the scheme and not do our own things because we learned from that trial and error year from last year. So bringing the DC back for the second year since I've been here for sure. I've been for 6 years. So bringing the DC back the second time, it's like a relief, because you ain't got to learn a whole new playbook. You ain't got to learn a whole new system. You ain't got to learn how he wants things and how another coach wants things. We've been doing the same thing that we've been doing when he got here. So definitely a relief that we got that for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Hey, Latrell.